Hey guys, how you going? Thanks for checking out this video on Baldur's Gate 3 and a few of my quality of life tips for those who are first starting out. These aren't super in-depth, super pro tips. These are, you're new to Baldur's Gate, you're not sure what to expect, and just some things to help you along the way. If you do like this video, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment. Anything you want to do helps me out, but if you just want to sit back, relax and listen in, I appreciate that too. Baldur's Gate 3 is releasing on the 3rd of August for PC. I love that they brought that forward, by the way, just throwing it in. And I think 6th of September for PS5. I have been anticipating this game for the longest time. There's actually a video on my channel of some highlights from the multiplayer playthrough I had with a friend. It's only the first act available at the moment, but hey, if you're looking at this video and you don't realize this game is available for early access right now, you can play through some of the first act. You'll have to wait for 3rd of August to play through the rest, but if you want to get your teeth wet, you can just jump right in. My first tip for you is to collect all the food items you see and camping supplies. You may find you end up with more than you need, but better you have more than less. The reason for that is, in combat in Baldur's Gate 3, you have spell slots, just like in D&D. Once you utilize those spell slots, you won't then be able to use them in your next combat encounter. The way to reset those is either via a short rest or a long rest. Now, you can only do two short rests a day. Otherwise, you can do a long rest. And a long rest requires 40 camping supplies. Now, you'll find meat in barrels, in chests, all over the world. You're not likely to run out. But if you rely solely on camping supplies, you might find yourself running a little bit short. By picking these up, you'll ensure you always have enough camping supplies when you return to camp to rest. And you'll always make sure that your party is completely ready to go for each combat encounter. Of course, it depends how you like to play. For me, I love to be able to have all options on hand at any point in time, whether it's a potion of animal speaking.
I always want to speak to an animal if I can.
A scroll of detect thoughts, the ability to talk to the dead. I pick up that stuff and hoard it like an absolute motherfucker. But it's worth hanging on to, and it's worth just having in the back pocket. Now, another quick tip to add to this one is if you find yourself becoming over encumbered, you can easily send things to your camp without going there. You can send them straight from your inventory, straight from a chest you're looting, just right click on it, send to camp. In your camp, there'll be a chest and you can collect all those items there. So with those food items, they can get heavy, they can get cumbersome. If you find yourself getting heavy but you don't want to go back to camp, right click, send to camp, it's all right there when you need it later on. Now, I wanted to avoid any spoilers for anyone particularly interested in the story here for my second tip. My second tip is pay attention to your environment. Basic, I know, sounds hella basic, but pay attention. Small things like this here on screen can be tips later on when you're trying to solve a puzzle or work your way through an environment. The storytelling in Baldur's Gate is absolutely fantastic, and so much of that storytelling is through the environment, through conversations with NPCs. If you don't care about the story and you just want to plow through, look, that's your own prerogative, but you're going to be missing out on some of the things, some of the little smaller details. Completely respect though if that's not your thing. Now with this puzzle here on screen, I can't quite admit how long it took us to figure this one out, but the video is at 1500 times speed. Yeah, it was a challenge.
Yeah, this goes very far down.
We'll
have to go in to see the
I
bottom.
virtually fist bumped you there. That's good.
Thanks, man. All right.
Do a save there.
Still alive.
My third tip, save frequently. For the love of God, don't just rely on autosave. Now, there's a difference here between saving frequently and save scumming. I won't tell you how to play your game. If you want to spend a few rolls trying to get through a really difficult gate, they all fail, you waste your supplies and you want to reload, look, I'll look the other way just this once. I'll look the other way. But it's really important you save. There have been a few times in my playthroughs where an encounter's gone badly or we've run into a really bad situation. The party's been close to wiped or wiped and we want to reload. And then it turns out the last autosave was an hour ago. And we've lost an hour of progress, and that is soul destroying if you don't want to go through that, or if you've completed a few mundane tasks or a few quests that you don't want to have to walk back through. Save yourself some time. Save after combats. Save after important story moments. You're not limited to one save file, so you can save 10, 20, whatever. Hey, you can save however many times you want if you're worried about saving and not being able to return to something. I think this game is best played with fewer saves, but I think it's important to save often so that if you do die or do set yourself back in a really negative way, you can quickly just pick up from where you wanted to go. But we see you. We see your saves coming. All right, my next tip might seem like a bit of a cop-out, but pay attention to what you're being told. I've already talked a little bit about paying attention to the environment, but pay attention to what NPCs are telling you, or at the very least, check your quest logs. It's very easy to kind of get lost in some of the quests if you're not paying attention to what people are telling you. Getting lost in terms of where to go, who to speak to. There is so much dialogue in this game. They've made the claim that there are 174 hours of cinematics. Now I assume what you're seeing here, talking to corpses, probably counts along that cinematic line. So it's not all going to be just sit back, watch a handcrafted thing. It's going to be part of the conversations you're having with NPCs. But pay attention to what you're being told, or at least pay attention to your quest log. Look, this is going to be nothing new for RPG players. Everyone's got a little bit, you know, sidetracked, clicked through a quest a little bit too quick, and then got completely lost. Pay attention. It'll definitely help you have a good time. The developers, Larian Studios, are absolutely fantastic at crafting game worlds. I've absolutely enjoyed Divinity Original Sin, Divinity Original Sin 2, the games they completed prior to Baldur's Gate 3. If you haven't played those, highly recommend. And to round this tip out, experiment. Again, a cop-out, a bit of a cop-out tip. I'll take that. Experiment with your gameplay. This game have a ridiculous amount of classes to play with, and the subclasses within those classes and different traits within the races. I'll put up a thing on screen here that they showed off recently in one of their community updates, just showing all the different subclasses, all the different races you can play. This game is massive in scope. It is worth exploring all these things. It's going to be, well, absolutely fun doing a playthrough as a barbarian. Amazing doing a playthrough as a fucking wizard. It's all personal preference. Don't hesitate to just jump in, trial out a few missions in the first act, see if you're liking the character. Don't hesitate to mix it up. Don't hesitate to restart. Play alone, play with friends. I'm going to be doing multiple playthroughs of this, some with friends, some alone. I think it's best experience with friends, but also going at your own pace, not letting a friend fuck up a dialogue choice or run you down a weird path, not letting the thief or a rogue just absolutely screw everyone over when they try to pickpocket the wrong person. Your decisions matter, and that's probably very important in this game as well. If you rub over the wrong NPCs, I'm imagining it will hurt you in the late game, but look, that could be part of your story. And my last little bit of advice, if you're getting confused, you have the option to press T when you're looking at tooltips. I didn't realize this until about 30 hours in, because apparently I'm just blind. But when you're scrolling over your skills, your spells, basically anything in the game, there's this little T right here. Yep, it's pretty obvious in hindsight. Inspect. Now this can run you down a rabbit hole where you inspect what's an ability check, you inspect what's an armor class, you inspect, oh, what's an ability modifier, and you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. But take the information in. If you're not sure about what something does, you'll generally find the information in here, or the information in the preceding tooltips that come after it. So those are a few just my early game beginner tips, tricks, just some quality of life stuff really. Look, this game is going to be absolutely insane on release. I cannot wait to jump in. Are you going to be jumping into this? Have you been following Baldur's Gate 3? Have you played Baldur's Gate 3? What class are you starting with? Let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate any feedback you can pass on. And look, I'll leave you at the end with my man Jim Jiminy seducing Will. See you in the next one. Well, I don't want to ruin my chances by trying to sleep with anyone else, so I guess I'll sleep with Will. I wonder if I'll see that in my... Oh, here we go.
Quiets to a soothing hum. as you approach your
Ah.
bunk.
I don't. Are you
Though
seeing
you
this?
seek repose, you needn't spend the
No.
night alone.
Oh, okay.
With whom will
It's
you
saying,
share
with
a
whom
bed?
will you share a bed? Oh,
Will.
and now I have the
Will,
option
Will.
or go to bed alone.
I kind of will.
Okay,
Heart
Will.
skips a beat.
Or I changed my mind. I'm going to persuade him. Come closer. I'll keep your mind off your devil. Are you just stuck, like, sleeping because I'm doing this?
Yeah. Mine's like, you know, in the camp, you're like on the
Nice!
bonfire and it's like...
I got a natural 20, by the way, in my persuasion. So
Nice,
if I'm
that
not
is
just
very-
immediately butt fucking him. I should have... Oh, that bit's under construction.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a big under construction sign.
Ah,
Will has slept next to you. He is still there when you're
And Will
home.
is still here when I've woken up.
You're even more handsome now.
You're even
If you
more
can
handsome
believe
now, if you can believe it, is what he said to me.